Welcome everyone to today's Masterclass episode on email and SMS marketing. I am Greg Zakowitz, e-commerce expert and 18-year email geek at Omnisend, which is an email and SMS marketing platform with more than 5,000 five-star Shopify reviews. Now, during this episode, I want to talk to you about email and SMS marketing, but more specifically, three main things. Number one, trends with both channels and what it means for your business. Two, why automation is king and the secret sauce behind it. And three, actionable ways to easily combine everything you learned to increase your own sales. And as you'll see today, it's easier than you think. So let's dig in. First, let me take about 1 minute or less to tell you about Omnisend. As I mentioned, we are an email and SMS marketing platform. We're used by over 85,000 Shopify customers worldwide. We have a built-in integration with Shopify and have over 5,000 five-star reviews on the Shopify App Store. And other things people love about us are 24/7 live award-winning support, pre-built templates for almost everything, including a whole bunch of list growth forms, email templates, including holiday-themed ones, segments, automated workflows, and a whole lot more. So we'd love for you to check us out, and you can do so at omnisend.com. Okay, let's discuss the first of three items from today's agenda: email and SMS trends and why it matters to you. So Omnisend recently released its yearly stats report, which can be found at omnisend.com. We analyzed over 23 billion marketing emails and more than 170 million SMS messages sent by e-commerce merchants last year. Here's a couple of the most important things you need to know. First, for the fourth year in a row, email sends increased. Now, we increased sends 33% year over year last year. Even with those increases in sends, we saw open rates go up from 23 to 25%, click rates go from 1.2 to 1.8%, and conversion rates stayed about even, which is pretty good considering the increase in sends. Now, during the Black Friday, Cyber Monday shopping season, we also saw an increase in all metrics, including conversion rate. So what does this mean? Well, to me, it indicates that the email is still a preferred channel for product discovery and sales, that brands should be consistently using it to reach your audience. Now, we see very similar things with SMS, where sends increasing by 58% last year compared to the year prior. Now, there is a myth. Some of you believe it, some don't, but there's a myth that SMS is annoying. I think we've officially proved that to be wrong. In fact, had Omnisend customers ignored SMS last year, they would have left more than $33 million in orders on the table. So what does this behavior tell us? Well, it tells us that people still actively engage and shop from email, and SMS is a tool that every brand, including yours, should be utilizing. Okay, the second thing I want to briefly discuss is automation. Automation is essential for a healthy and revenue-driving email and SMS program, and it has been for more than a decade. So consider this. Last year, automated messages made up 2% of those 23 billion emails sent, but they still accounted for 41% of all email orders. So let me repeat, 2% of sends, 41% of orders. We saw a very similar type of results from SMS, where automated sends accounted for 13% of overall SMS sends, and responsible for 26% of orders. Why does automation perform so well? It's simple. It's all behavior-based. If someone signs up for an email program, they're sent a message. If they visit your site and check out products, but then leave, they're sent a message. They cart a product but don't buy. Oh, I hate those people. You guessed it. Send a message. So think of automation kind of like the new form of segmentation, a relevant message to a relevant audience at the relevant time. It's email marketer's dream, right? So my advice for any brand is to lean into automation to continue shopper engagement and generate sales. Remember, you send the campaign out, someone gets it, they click, they browse, they don't cart a product, they leave, your browse abandonment picks it up. They cart a product, they leave, your cart abandonment picks it up. These things all connect to one another, and this is why automation is so efficient for most businesses. My advice for any brand is to lean into automation to continue shopper engagement and generate sales. But which automations and how do we do it? Well, I got that for you. Let's start with which ones. I'd recommend doing as many as possible, but I'd start with a welcome, browse abandonment, and cart abandonment. These three messages, just these three, were responsible for 88% of all automated email orders last year. So it is true, these were the most sent messages, which would indicate they probably have the most orders associated with them. They were the most sent for a reason, and follow that reasoning. Plus, we know they worked. As for how to do it, well, that brings me to my final item today: how to use these insights in an actionable way to make your email program stronger. Now, to do this, let me show you what it's like. Let's dive in and see what actually doing it looks like in real life, complete with some inspirational examples to get you going as well. So I'm going to head into my Omnisend account. And if you use a different email provider similar to Omnisend, it's probably going to look very similar to this, so you can still follow along, make sure everything, and we hope to see you over at Omnisend soon. So here's what I want to explore. 3 things. Number 1, forms to grow your list. And this is going to feed our highest converting automation, welcome messages. 2, the automation itself, how to set it up, common best practices to get you started. And then 3, how to mix all these channels together in the process. So let's quickly start with forms because that's how we grow both our email and SMS list. As we know, both are important. So in the account, I'm going to click on forms and in the navigation and then click on create form. As you can see, there are a ton of pre-built forms to choose from. And on the left side, there are filters with the types of forms. So feel free to play around, find the one that suits best for you. Now, because we've been speaking about a combo of email and SMS, I'm going to filter for a 2-step pop-up form. So as you can see, everything is set up for you to edit however you please. Just click on the section you want to edit and make the changes. Now, here's where the magic happens. Look at the bottom and you'll see step 2. Click on that. This is your second step where it asks for phone number. Now, I'd recommend keeping this field optional, so if they don't want to, they don't have to join. I'd also customize the text at the top to confirm they have joined the email program and let them know this step is optional. This is a pet peeve of mine. Sometimes they promise me X amount for signing up for an email. I click on it, hit submit, and then I'm brought to a second page that makes it seem, whether it is optional or not, that I have to sign up for SMS. Now, I do sign up for SMS, but not from all brands. So this is an indication. We want to keep this somewhat flexible for the recipient so that if they want to leave, sign up later, they can. So you can make this say something like, thanks for joining, sign up for text, and even more discounts. Something is that simple. So all you need here is an input field for the mobile number and your legal consent, in this case, TCPA. Then just edit the rest of the steps as needed, and when you're ready to have it go live on your website, just click enable, and you'll be finished, and it'll be live on your website. So pretty simple, right? So while the templates in Omnisend should be able to provide you with all the inspiration you need, here's a couple examples and a clever way to entice a sign up. So this is from Above Sportswear. They use a good sense of urgency in the initial email ask, but then offer to make it even quicker and more convenient for those who opt into SMS program. Okay, what did that take? 1-2 minutes? If you want to spend 3 minutes to get really crazy, you can, but you can see how simple and easy these things are to implement in a very quick and time-efficient manner. So now we have a way to grow our list, and now we want to trigger those high-performing automated emails to people. Now, how do we do that? Well, it's just as easy. Let's head over to the automation link in the navigation and click on Create New Workflow. And again, you'll see a bunch of pre-built templates here to make your life even easier. So the beauty is that you can customize any template and you're not locked into that design. So these are just to get you started, but also just to make your life easier and a lot quicker to do. So we just did a pop-up. So let's do a welcome message automation to send to someone when they submit that form. See, we're connecting everything here. A welcome emails convert 38 times better than a scheduled promotional campaign, so it makes sense you have them sending, whether it's a perfect message or not, have a welcome message sending. So we'll select welcome in email and SMS and click on customize workflow. As you can see, it all looks pretty straightforward. It triggers when someone signs up using a form. Now, here you can select a specific form or use any form. For simplicity's sake, we'll select any form. We also see that a user will exit the workflow when they complete a purchase, which is what we want. That's a good best practice. After all, the purpose of the welcome series is to generate a sale from the new subscriber. Your website was the introduction, the email is the shopping path. So following this path, we have a 1-minute delay built in, which is great. We always give our systems time to update just in case there's any sort of 2-second lag on things. But you can always customize this to be longer or shorter if you want. I recommend leaving it as is. 1 minute's a good time. Next is to send your email. To edit the email, click on the email node and adjust anything you need to. On the right rail, you'll see the subject line and pre-header fields. Edit them however you see fit. For subject line, something like, welcome to your store, your gift is inside, is great. Adjust your pre-header, support your subject line, but not repeat it. In this case, maybe we'll use something like, plus, see our customers' top-rated products. Now to edit the email itself, click on Edit Content, and here you'll be brought to a drop and drag editor complete with your store branding already built in. See, we make your life easier. Now you can just click on the sections of the email to edit what you please and use the items in the left rail to add additional elements to the email however you wish. Now, what should you put in a welcome email? Because this is all great, but we want to be practical. I want to give you advice that you can make actionable the second you disconnect from this webinar series. So remember, these emails are a step in the purchase journey, so we want to treat them as such. And this is how I recommend building your message. Use friendly language and welcome the new subscriber. Make sense? If you offer an incentive, be sure to provide it here. Use quality images that reinforce your brand. Highlight your products or categories, especially top-rated and best sellers. Use testimonials. And most importantly, remember that the goal is to generate a sale, so be sure to include a call to action. Now, I also recommend reinforcing any competitive differentiator in every single email you send, not just automated ones. And things like this could include friendly return policies, price and speed of shipping, satisfaction guarantees, and product quality or fit. Now, here's a good example from Runway Rogue that kind of brings everything together. The very top of the message here highlights their free shipping threshold, something we all know is very important to buyers. The hero image is an animated GIF, and it's completely on brand. Now, the text is not only minimal, which is important when people open on their phones, but it's also friendly and on brand, saying, "Welcome, gorgeous." So the discount's large, it's obvious, and it's great for shoppers. Now, the email does a great job suggesting bestsellers, which is a form of social proof. Remember, always put that social proof in there. It even shows the 5 stars on the first product, which is awesome. Now, the recovery section in this email promotes their product value adds, such as vegan and cruelty-free, and again, reinforces that free shipping. So as you can see, the welcome message can be created using mostly content you likely already have. Don't worry, doesn't need to be perfect. Start simple, improve it as time goes on. Any welcome message is better than no welcome message. Just remember that. Doesn't have to look beautiful, at least yet. Just send it. All right, let's go back to the workflow because there's one more part we need to talk about, and that's the SMS. Now remember, we were collecting email and SMS in our forms. On this workflow, the default is set to send to an email, wait one day, and then send the SMS. Now, I'm going to change this, and here's why. If someone signs up for the SMS, I want to set the same standard that I do with email. So I want to send them an SMS message as well. And trust me, no one's going to complain that they got an SMS message and an email from you because they're probably not in both at the exact same time. And if they are gearing up to shop. And that's a good thing. So I'm going to change this to a 1-minute delay because 1 minute, why not? Next, I'm going to create my SMS message. Now, this one is easier than an email because you're limited to characters. It's best to keep it simple. List your brand name first so they know who it's coming from. Next, welcome them and give them a discount code if you promise one to sign up. If you don't want to deliver it here, tell them it's in their email and then they can go there to find it. It's a good way to tie these two channels together. And finally, include a link to shop. So here's a couple of examples you can see with these that they don't really overcomplicate anything in the messages. They leave them short, they leave them sweet. That's all that really is needed at this point. Now, once you're finished, you can click save or continue customizing the workflow to add additional messages, splits for different audiences, A/B testing, or whatever you choose. You can see how flexible these workflows are. When you're ready to turn it on, click Start Workflow. Remember, you can add to it as time allows. So add a different message, add a different path, whatever it needs to. Now, as I mentioned, welcome, cart abandonment, and browse abandonment generate the most orders. So these are the 3 I'd start with. Now, use the same principles you did in the welcome message and automation to create workflows for each of those using both email and SMS. And remember, if they're not signed up for SMS, it's just going to skip them. If they're not signed up for email but SMS, it's going to skip them and just push them through. So you don't have to worry about having multiple workflows for different channels. We bake that all in, make your life easier. Now you can see how these automations only take a minute or 2 to set up. So there's really no excuse for not having these sending and creating revenue for you. So to recap, consumers are still engaging with email, especially during peak shopping periods like Black Friday. Use this to your advantage. Automation for both email and SMS significantly outperforms scheduled messages, and you should be using automated messages at every turn. And SMS is rapidly growing. I advise you to lean into it. Now, one Shopify brand that did this was Divatress. Now, they started asking for mobile numbers, even though they were initially skeptical of the value, but they figured, why not? Let's give it a whirl. In 8 months, they grew to more than 70,000 SMS subscribers, and the first year generated $123,000 in SMS sales alone. Plus, they attacked their automation strategy and now generate over 50% of their email revenue from automated messages. Now, it's a myth that good email marketing needs to be hard, expensive, or both. Any brand can sell more, and it can begin with only a few minutes of effort, as you saw today. So I hope you learned something during today's masterclass. I invite you to check out Omnisend to see if we can help you grow. And if you have any questions for me, please reach out. I won't bite. Until next time, happy marketing, everyone.